U.S. Air Force just revealed a first look at its new fighter jet. The U.S. Air Force has revealed concept art of its new fighter jet that was designed, built and tested in secret. Last month, USAF's top acquisition official, Will Roper, told Defense News, "We've already built and flown a full-scale flight demonstrator in the real world, and we broke records in doing it. We are ready to go and build the next-generation aircraft in a way that has never happened before." The new plane, which is intended to replace the F-22 and F-35, is part of the Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) program. Little is known about the jet, but the Air Force has just dropped a massive clue: concept art of a fighter jet being built under the NGAD program. The image appears in USAF's recently released biennial report for acquisition. The report says of the program, "Next Generation Air Dominance is a family of capabilities that enable air superiority in the most challenging operational environments by enforcing the development pillars of digital engineering, agile software development, and open architectures. By executing shorter technology development cycles, the program matures technology and reduces risk through prototyping and operational experimentation." Designed to complement the F-35, F-22, joint, and partner forces in the air superiority role, Next Generation Air Dominance is an advanced aircraft program for development of penetrating counter-air platforms with multi-domain awareness, agile resilient communications, and an integrated family of capabilities. The F-36 Kingsnake. The 5th generation fighter USAF wants. Here's what you need to remember. The F-35 is a Ferrari, the F-22 a Bugatti Chiron. The United States Air Force needs a Nissan 300ZX. Both the F-35 and F-22 have higher levels of technology than USAF requires for the vast majority of its everyday tasks. They are very difficult and costly to maintain, operate and upgrade. What is needed according to the USAF's Chief of Staff Gen. Charles Brown Jr. is an affordable, lightweight fighter to replace the F-16. It must be faster to develop and upgrade than the F-35 and need not feature such exquisite technologies. This is a new aircraft. What is the primary requirement? What we have come up with is a long-range, supersonic, maneuverable BVR and WVR fighter. Of course, later in its life it will become an overweight bomb trucks, festooned with stuff, just like the F-16, but let's not draw it in middle age just yet. The design the wing is based on that of the F-16XL. The crank arrow has an inboard section of increased sweepback, creating a controlled high-lift vortex without the need for a foreplane. The wing is efficient at high speeds, aiding in creating a faster fighter than the F-35. The F-35's slowness is a disadvantage for the beyond visual range mission. The wing also allows ample room for fuel. We can expect a higher full fraction for the whole aircraft than the F-22. And external hardpoints. One notable issue that requires long range is the likely ability of supercruising Chinese J-20s to outrange F-22s. The wing loading is lower than the F-35 for most given configurations. Rather than emphasizing an extremely high speed that is rarely met, as the case with F-14 and F-15 etc., the F-36 is very comfortable achieving speeds in the Mach 1.8 to 2 range, rather like the European Typhoon. The F-36 is designed for unreheated supersonic performance at m equals 1.4, using reheat for acceleration up to m equals 2.0. On agility, the big wing will give great instantaneous turn rate, and energy maneuverability should be well up there with low wave drag and good TW. As primary design is for BVR, sustained turn performance is less important. Internal weapons are carried in intake trunking weapons bays, curving into the lower wing fillets. Likely weapons would include new generation long-range air-to-air missiles. Engines considered included the F-15X's F110GE129, which would offer commonality but lack sufficient thrust, or the F-135 of the F-35, which is suffering technical issues. The chosen powerplant is a simplified version of F-119 of the F-22. Returning the engine to production would also benefit the F-22 Raptor force. It is estimated returning the engine to production would take 3.5 years, meaning early test aircraft would need to borrow from the Raptor. The F-110G-129 is a lower risk option. Unlike the F-22, the F-36 does not have thrust vector control. The F-119 production restart would be expensive, however, and an upgraded F-110 and/or improved F-135 should not be ruled out. Sensors: the primary sensor is the APG-83 AESA and an IRST based on the Legion pod. Cockpit: the F-35's cockpit concept was probably a little ahead of the state-of-the-art in some aspects. It has been criticized by pilots for its absent HUD and the lack of feel and unreliability of inputted commands relating to the touchscreen-centric approach. The F-36 cockpit will address both issues and will feature a widescreen HUD in conjunction with a joint helmet-mounted cueing system, JHMCS, a cheaper option than the F-35 helmet system. Gun with modern infrared missiles almost guaranteeing a kill before fighters reach the merge. A gun may seem an archaic inclusion, and certainly Stephen McParlin was skeptical of whether one was needed. There are several reasons that the F-36 has a gun. The first is political. Gunless fighters have a bad reputation. The second is practical. Any F-16 replacement is likely to end up performing the close air support mission. The weapon is the M61 Vulcan mounted in the starboard wingroot. It is not ideal to use supersonic optimized fighters for CAS, and ideally the F-36 would be complemented by new or existing subsonic aircraft better suited to the mission.